All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast, the podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you normally talk around the pit. Coming to you live from the snow drenched Uncle Steve's Shake Studios in Center Bonstead, New Hampshire. What is going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know it's a little different. I had to post up the other day that we were going to do it on Sunday. Let me explain a little bit of what the hell happened this week. Obviously, y'all know that with the post office, I'm balls to the walls, so I can't get back here in time to go live on Mondays. So I always, for all the years, have recorded the December episodes. So we had recorded with Chef Ray Sheehan, Hood Drip. We recorded those and scheduled them for Monday nights, and everything went fine. Last week with Big J's SoCal Barbecue, we recorded it Sunday morning and went to schedule it. Kept getting this error message. They would not let me schedule it. So I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. So I dealt with that, fought with that from 2:30 Sunday afternoon till about 5:30 Monday night. So I appreciate everyone, tracking the show down on either YouTube, the Facebook pages, and watching it. Got some great comments from that video. Jay's a great guy. But I'm like, screw that. I'm not even going to run the chance. So we're going to do it live. So we are truly live here Sunday night. So I appreciate you all tuning in for it. But let's get going. Today's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. What can I say, guys? Uncle Steve not only has an incredible line of seasonings, but he's also a tremendous human being. Shirt off your back type of guy, but takes pride and passion in what he does. 17 amazing flavors. He actually put out a post today, so I'll say it. 18 amazing flavors. Has just announced the holiday shake. So it's going to be limited every year, but he's taken the dessert shake and kicked it up with a little peppermint powder. So we can just imagine what that's. It's Christmas in a bottle. So
Christmas in a
keep an idea, look out for those. Follow him at UncleSteveShake.com. Also on Facebook, Uncle Steve Shake Nation. Uncle Steve Shake. Shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the diamond of Roy City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew. I can't say anything better about them. Truly great people. Gabriel goes above and beyond. If you're looking for a particular cut, Gabriel's got you covered. If you're looking for something he might not carry, he'll work with you to get it in. Fresh produce brought in daily. Rubs, sauces, seasonings, smoking wood products, splits, chunks, chips. He's got it all there for all your barbecue needs. And while you're there, sit down. Get yourself a soda, get water, something, coffee. All the boys are usually hanging around. Got that old style barbershop feel. Sit down, have a conversation, make a new friend. And if you're feeling a little hungry, Gabriel's mom's right behind the counter, whipping up some of the freshest Mexican cuisine. So if you're into the Dallas-Fort Worth, like I said, Roy City, Texas, stop by Joe's Meat Market, see Gabriel and the crew and the boys, and tell them I sent you. And remember, Joe's Meat Market for the win. I got Dutch texting me because I just saw it, but once again, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. I didn't swear yet. I don't think I did. He's already talking to me about the potty mouth, Hussey.
He's the potty mouth.
He is. He's a bad influence on me.
He very much is.
It's the problem with me befriending all these heathens. You know what I mean?
Anybody from Iowa, you can't trust them no far you can throw them, and you can't throw him very far. He's a big rascal.
Yep. We got a bunch of stuff in the chat, but unfortunately, I can't see it. Once again, the eyes have changed. Apparently, this is getting to be a pain in the neck. But
so I don't know. Yeah, I mess it up. I'm seeing comments, but it's from I guess where I shared on my end too.
Yeah, I can see Facebook and YouTube.
Oh yeah,
but I got to get my face. Oh, there we go. I can get the North Cackalack from the Hungry Hussey, Dallas Baldwin, Will, Ronnie, Cheryl Smith, Daddy Dutch. All right, let me I can roll it like this without the glasses, so I might look a little weird, but
it's all good.
I got to get a little close to the screen. But yeah, they're all coming in. So, thank you, Matt Pereira, what's happening? Steve Mac, what's going on? Judge Webb, Uncle Rocky. Let me see. Ava and Greg Riley, thank you all for tuning in. So, obviously, we've already somewhat started the conversation, but it has been a hot minute, more than a hot minute since this gentleman has joined us. So we touched base earlier during the week, and we're making it happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, the Hungry Hussey himself, Matthew Hussey. Hussey, what's up, brother?
What's going on, bud? It has been a while, right?
It's been a while. A couple years anyway since you were last on.
Yeah, it's been at least 2 years.
Anyway. But yeah, we're gonna have to start remedy that one. We can't go that long again.
I agree. It should be at least a every week thing, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But without, I would be amiss if I didn't. I am keeping a tradition alive here. It is the holiday season, my friend, is it not?
It is that. It's busy season, but a good season.
But I am going to toast the holiday season. I don't know if you have a beverage there, but I'm going to toast.
I got it. Right there, boys. It's all my camera's focusing on my eye, but
chill wine.
Yeah.
So, obviously
Southern nectar.
That's right. And you turned me on to it. And nobody carries it on the regular up here. So I have to have it imported. If someone's coming up or going down there. But there is one establishment here. It's the only one in the state that carries it. So, my friend, I am ready. I stopped by. I picked it up.
Ready? Yeah.
So,
you hear that? Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
a little
Christmas.
cheer wine.
I tell you, they got a Christmas or they call it holiday punch that they also have. They carry. It's only obviously during the holidays, but it's pretty good too.
Oh man, this is the nectar of life. I'll tell you.
It's good stuff, man. I really need to stop drinking so many of them, to be honest with you. But you know what I like about it? I drink the zero thing now, everybody, somebody back there saying, golly, he's drinking zero. Sucker needs to cut back on. He needs to run some laps. I like the regular. That's what you have. And it's good, but it's really sweet for me. I like this. There's no sodium in it. And so that's one of the reasons why I like it. I try to lay off as much salt as possible, but yeah, both of them just excellent.
Yep. I'm into teasing myself here and there, maybe once or twice a week with a zero soda myself. So I am breaking the rules because technically I should not be having this with my new type 2 status.
Oh crap.
So we've been changing it, but oh man, I'm slimming down a little bit. I know it's tough, it's hard to believe, but I'm closing back down to that 300 number.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. I am change the diet up.
I need to watch my Jenny Craig points too, personally. I need to do better.
So what has been up? I've been following. I haven't been commenting because I've officially joined the new technological aspect, and I'm able to get YouTube on my TV. Unfortunately,
that's nice.
I can't comment on it.
Yeah,
but I've been following everything, and you're crushing it, brother, as always.
Yeah.
You got the new setup. So what's been going on?
Since we last spoke, I mean, still obviously I don't think I was just doing, the Hungry Hussey channel, right? I was very fortunate to become a member of the Blackstone team. They call it Griddle Pros, but for me, I use that term kind of loosely. But I was very fortunate, very blessed to be able to do that. So I got that under my belt and started this podcast, my new podcast, and which is you hooked me up, you horned me in, and it was like, hey man, I really like it, and that meant a lot to me. I appreciate that. A lot of people have came up and said they really like it, and I've really enjoyed it too. It's a lot of different content, than what I'm accustomed to. So
yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, I came out with some seasonings, and I came out with a few other things. Launched a website, and I tell you, man, I'm busier than a dang three-legged cat trying to bury a turd in a sandbox, brother. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, absolutely,
Fun. It's fun.
Good. Yeah, I had seen you post a couple weeks ago about talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
And that you had it set up. So I was able to go on iTunes or whatever podcast thing the iPhones use. I was able to get it on there, get it on Spotify. Apple Podcast. Able to get it on Spotify. So I was, subscribed on both platforms. And then lo and behold, one pops up, and it was the introduction one of, you getting into it. Then what you had said, I called you to talk a little bit about it because the second episode came in, you had our brother CJ from Cooking with CJ.
Yep. Over on the left coast. Yep. He felt sorry for me, and he was my first guest.
And it was tremendous. I absolutely loved it. Your sound quality was fantastic. I actually went back, watched it. Your video aspect is great, and you guys had a great conversation, and it was very natural. You know what I mean? It wasn't a scripted thing, which I like. I like the natural aspect of a lot of shows, and you hit that right off the bat. And if someone had just tuned in for that one, you would have thought you've been doing this for a long time. Which technically you have, because you've been having the channel for so many years, and you're
Yeah.
used to talking to the camera, and and it's very similar.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
It is. A lot came over. The cameras, and you know how it is shooting content. It's you have to get friends with a sucker. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be somebody you can jive with, one of your boys, and
mhm.
it takes a while. And I don't know if I'm 100%. I don't think I've really just submitted myself as if I'm talking to one of my boys or not. But you're always striving to get better. But yeah, it's I appreciate you telling me that, because that's kind of what I want. I just want a conversation. If the thing goes sideways and we start talking about something growing up, eventually it'll all tie back into some food.
Oh yeah, it always does. Believe me, I've been known to jump a railroad track here and there.
Yeah, yeah,
But but that's the great thing, and that's the natural part of it.
yeah,
You get sidetracked, and you bring it back to back to the food and cooking, and
yeah.
the passion we have for everything. Then you had the third episode I listened to the other day with brother C Mac, Craig McPherson of C Mac Cooks.
Yep. I think he's
That
he's in the chat, or was.
yeah,
He's
that
making
wee little fella.
Yeah, that little short guy.
Yeah, I was a little upset to the point of I actually had to call him, and you had asked him a question of if he could cook with somebody, who would it be? And needless to say, it wasn't Johnny Maggs.
I tell you what, I was disappointed. I didn't tell Craig that I was disappointed that he didn't say Johnny Maggs, but I was like, you know what, I'll let him dig his own grave. At that point, I'm like, whatever, dude.
And even you were a gentleman about it, and took yourself out of the running.
I knew I
You
was probably
know?
top tier. I knew I was almost there, like probably like with Bobby Flay,
Oh, for sure.
tier. But so I was like, let's just make it easy for you. And then, I just thought Johnny Maggs was a shoe in personally.
I thought so too, but apparently
Yeah.
I'm mistaken, and we're gonna have to. Me and Seema gonna have to have a conversation and
We'll have to muster
discuss
the
our
troop and get over
relationship
there.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to. Yeah. Well, I would
But
say what I like to do is, somebody makes me mad, I'll just go do donuts in their front yard. He's got a perfect yard for it. Just sanding,
he's
man.
got plenty of room to dig up there for sure.
I think you'd be great in that yard, just wearing it out. And, I mean, it take him years to get those ruts out,
Oh, for sure, for sure. Woo, baby. Especially now. Well, I can't do it now because the ground's frozen, so it won't do anything. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
wait till like mid-spring when it gets really soupy. The mud and the muck, and you can see it sinking.
yeah.
So we'll get it done there. C-Mac, it's coming for you, brother. I think he just commented here.
Just run by his house and just put a rock in his valve stem, let his air out, make him think he's got a flat tire. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just
He makes a point here. I have not done donuts in his yard, but I have eaten donuts in his yard.
well.
That's for sure. At good old Riverfest.
Oh, you went to Riverfest.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I went this year, just as a spectator.
Yeah. Okay.
Because things got a little hectic, and I hung out with my friends at 16 Mesh Barbecue. They were there cooking, and saw all the boys. Dan Willett, who he started the Blackstone boys with. Our friend Chapin, and got to see him and everything. And I helped out with the kids queue, which was fantastic. He really does an incredible job with this in Riverfest, which is, I think it was the 20th anniversary. He started 20 years ago out in the Bay Area, San Francisco, and brought it out here, and it's crazy. 200 to 300 people show up for this event.
It's crazy.
Wild. And
I
all goes
was
to
fortunate to
charity.
do the digital one.
Yeah, I was on that one also.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all he had let some old hillbilly, He's like, we'll throw him a bone, see what he's got, So
Oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, then I had cooked in it 1 year, which was a blast. And
yeah.
like I said, hung out this year. But yeah, brother, we're gonna have to get you up here for that one of these years. You got Captain Ron on there. Captain Ron had come up. So we need the Hussey to come up, brother.
I need to get out more. I think I said that on C-Mac's interview. I know I said it on when CJ and I were chatting. I need to get out more. I'm so focused on just getting content and work life and don't leave much room for anything else, So you know how it is.
Nice. Oh, absolutely.
Turning a crank.
It never ends. The grind is real. So with the podcast, like I said, I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Now you said you have a couple in the can, which is nice to start. Get a little base to put them out. Are you doing? You uploading on a certain day? I think it was Thursday when it came out.
I'm pretty much sold on Thursdays, I believe. Now, I was posting a video on Thursday and then a video on Sunday, and now it with this podcast, it's all gotten a little bit convoluted, and didn't know when to post that because I'm posting it on YouTube, but it shows up as a video. Like I posted a video also, so I was like, crap, I can't post a podcast and a video on the same day. I think it would probably compare. I don't think they'd share very well. So
yeah,
I said, well, it helps me, number one, because I do try to batch up my content for my channel. And I've been kind of planning on trying to do 2 videos per week. So now I'm like, well, maybe the podcast just kind of slides in there. And then of course I post the podcast to, the rest of the feeds, Apple Podcasts and Spotify and that kind of thing. So right now, Thursdays, just long story short, I kind of made that a little bit longer than what it should be. But I had this grand idea. I thought I was going to post like all 5 at one time. So that way I have a bank like in Spotify and Apple Music, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of just, it kind of just got kind of tough, honestly.
Yeah.
Figuring out, well, if I do it there, and then I'm not doing it on YouTube because I didn't want to post on YouTube. Is way different because you get served up episode 5 and not even got served episode 1 yet. If I, so you know how it is. You're always struggling with how things work.
Oh
Especially
yeah,
with YouTube, it's crazy.
And especially in the podcast game, some of the platforms, I know. I think Spotify has changed their parameters, but I know when we first got on each platform, like Apple and iTunes were able to go right at episode 1.
Yeah.
Spotify, I want to say it was either 5 or 10. You had to have 5 or 10 episodes before they would put you live.
Really?
So in some of the other ones you had to wait X amount of time, and but I think it's the podcasts have just gotten so popular now that everybody kind of got away with some of the parameters and just let you get into it. But I like I said, I love the fact of you doing it. What was the idea of it? Like you said, you're you're hectic, you're
Yeah.
constantly coming up with content. Why would you what made you want to start the podcast and add that to the list?
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
Oh, why not? It's good enough
I like
answer.
the aspect. I like I personally sometimes I feel this is me. I feel um like there's a disconnect with me and community, my community, and even other people. So like when I first started YouTube, I consumed a little bit more YouTube content. Whereas now I don't really consume much content. I'm just pushing. I'm pushing
Mhm.
on YouTube, right? So I don't get to watch CJ's videos much. I'd love
Yeah.
to. And he don't watch mine. I don't know if he ever watched mine anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but used to when we first started, we were all like, "Oh yeah, did you see
Mhm.
this?" We had a little bit more time on our hands, and then it become kind of crazy. It just kind of
Yeah.
become a job, and so to sit down and just kind of chew the fat, so to speak, just him haul around was pretty cool. And I thought, well, maybe this is a, a good way to connect with people.
Mhm.
They hear a little bit more of me. They get to just see just some raw, unfiltered, jabber from me and somebody
Mhm.
else talking. So I started listening to podcasts. I'd been on a few. This was one of them. I've always enjoyed them, and I enjoy talking to people also and hearing stories. Stories are pretty cool
Yeah.
because everybody has a story, and then a lot of times, most of the time, food is around that story, right? My mom, my grandma, somebody I used to help my dad, or and those are some big memories, right? So I just thought it'd be pretty fun to try. I thought I'll give it 6 months. We'll see how it goes. If it turns into something, great. If not, I guess we'll can it. So you'll be seeing me for 6 months, and hopefully it'll pan out.
Yeah. Sorry for putting my screen facing right into the camera, guys. I apologize.
I missed something in the chat.
Yeah, I'm really trying to see see the chat. Daddy Dutch is saying, it's difficult
Absolutely
to be
hard.
both a creator and a supporter. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I like to try to. I'll sit here and tell you all day that the the system hasn't molded me, but it kind of has. I'm wanting to maybe go back to a little bit more raw, unfiltered content
Mhm.
instead of. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I mean, it's not polished or anything like that. It's not like a full production, but um, just something a little somebody can resonate with, right? So, but yeah, that's really the reason why. Just to get out there, to talk with people, hear their story, and yeah, chew the fat. To crack a cheer wine, and you really don't have to worry about, oh, am I getting the right shot? Is my thumbnail?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously you need a thumbnail if going on YouTube or whatever, but um, there are some details that you got to watch out for, on podcasts. But what I like is you just basically just roll, and
Yeah.
just talk, just chat, and it's been pretty good so far. I've been going pretty lengthy, been talking a lot, so I want to
Yeah,
rein that in a little bit.
it's all good, brother. It's all good. John Forearm, he said it great. Eggshell chunking and unscripted shows are the best.
Yeah,
And it's real. It's the real, it's the raw.
yeah,
Here's Daddy Dutch again. Hussey is having me on the Hussey After Dark episode on his OnlyFans page.
I don't know what Kent's talking about. I think he's got a thing for Hussey. I think he's got a thing for Southern big boys, I believe.
Oh, he for sure.
It must be that Southern drawl. I think he digs it. He's been in the cornfield way too long.
Oh yeah, good stuff. But yeah, he was. I agree with you on the taking in the content. It had it. It really has changed, because me and you met, online,
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I started the show back in 18. So yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
When the Google Hangouts was a thing.
Yeah, that was like the hot seat. The kind of thing was kind of going around. Kent and CJ did that, and that's kind of how I fell into that with you guys.
Yeah. And like you were saying on those conversations, like, oh yeah, oh hey, Hussey, I saw your latest video. What was that? That seasoning you used, kind of what temperature we would have those conversations, and everyone was familiar with it, and I think there's just so much content now. It's tough. It's tough to follow everything, and like I said, I've been watching on TV, on streaming it on my TV now. So like I said, the commenting was out, so I'd have to go onto the phone, leave a call, stuff like that. But the times have changed, and we've all readjusted how we do things. But yeah, it was, the community itself, and, everyone who watched, God, I got a comment the other day it was a top round roast video I did. And it had to have been 2 or 3 years ago, so to see some of those comments, it's like, I'm trying to answer it. It's like, what temperature did you have it at? And what temperature did you pull it at? I'm like, it was 3 years ago. I go, dude, I don't even know what I had in my coffee an hour ago.
Yeah.
I pulled it at about 128, and let it carry over.
Yeah.
But some of it's wild that, the reach that we have, and, the interaction with everybody, and, it still blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's
hard. Even the interactions are tough. Comments, it's hard to get to all the comments all the time. I'll get behind, especially posting multiple videos a week. Oh gosh, it's so tough. It's hard to consume the content, and every once in a while I'll do like you, get on the TV, cut it on and watch. But then like you said, you can't even leave a comment. You can like it, I believe. Like or heart, but you can't comment, obviously. Maybe we need to get a keyboard for your remote control. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, that could work. I think we're on to something there. But that's exactly what I need. More technology in my life.
That's right.
I'm still trying to figure it all out. But yeah, like I said, I'm so thrilled for you on the podcast. You're off to a tremendous start, and I can't wait for more episodes and where you're going to go with it. But getting into your content, actually, before we even get to the content, you had mentioned, and I know you've come out with a couple seasonings of your own. I know the heifer dust, and then is there another one, if I'm not mistaken?
Dude, I got like a Mexican kind style, if you will, called Fiesta Dust.
Okay.
Yeah. Got 2 more coming. I'm developing those for this coming up year. That's coming soon.
Mhm.
Trying to be like my uncle, my uncle Steve, who's helped. He's helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
You know, every step of the way. He didn't, he didn't think of being a competitor at all or anything like that. He was just like, "Oh yeah, come on, brother. What you need help with?" So,
Oh,
but yeah, I got those two seasonings, and it's been successful. I never thought in a million years that I would have ran through. I think I had to for my packer. I had to buy 50 cases of each. Um, for a custom blend. These are custom blends. There's some you can just slap a label on the house seasoning and call it
Mhm.
yours if you want. These are my recipes, and to do that, you got to have like 50. You got to buy 50 cases of it. There's 12 bottles to a case, and I was like, oh crap! I was like, ain't nobody's gonna buy this crap, And I was like, you know what? We'll just try it. We'll just try it. And I was like, what is, this it just happened. And man, I blew through heifer dust especially.
Yeah.
And we blew through that. We blew through 50 cases in no time. And I was like, well, maybe that's just because it just kind of started out,
Yeah, yeah.
next thing you know, people's like, Hussey, you need to come over here. Hussey, you need to come over there. And I'm like, look, y'all, I'm self-distributing this stuff out of my garage, and but and selling online, of course, too. But man, I tell you, it's just feel real blessed that how well it's done. And the thing is, people just put it on everything,
Oh, yeah.
and we do too. We put chicken. I need to get you. You have never had any, have you?
I haven't. No.
That's shame on me. Shame on me. You just don't think about things. And you give me your address when we get off here.
Yeah, brother.
And we'll get you some. Um, it's dang near like all purpose, really. But there really wasn't when I'm thinking about this, I'm trying to find a gap, right? I was like, there's not really a smash burger, not really a burger seasoning. Yeah, there's Montreal steak seasoning. Now there is more like Kinder's has some stuff, and
Mhm.
um what is that Fiesta brand? Is it Fiesta brand? They got like a
Yes.
fancy hamburger seasoning. You ever seen that?
Yeah. They have
Oh,
they're that Fiesta brand. They have everything, they have, they
they're
have the
huge,
burger
dude.
season, the steak, and the regular line, paprika,
Yeah,
parsley, Italian,
they got
they
everything.
even have like carne asada seasoning
Yeah,
or fajita seasoning or
yep,
it's crazy.
yeah, and it's good stuff. And so, I was like, well, maybe I'll just market, towards that, more towards the steak. I didn't really want to do barbecue. Everybody has barbecue, but so that's what I did. Got the graphics done, and had my recipe, and um, man, it just kind of like, it went well. It's gone really well, and the Fiesta, I never really intended the Fiesta to be as popular.
Mhm.
But it was just a buddy of mine. He's kind of like he's a good friend of mine, and met him through online as well. He's an online friend, but I bounce stuff off of him all the time. And he's like, bro, he's like, he's like, that fajita recipe or the fajita spice blend that you posted, whenever you did fajitas like long time ago. I was like, yeah. He's like, bro, you need to make that. And I was like, really? He was like, crap's good, dude. I was like, "Oh, okay. So I did it now, and people love it too, but it don't sell as much. But people aren't doing Mexican, they're doing the other stuff, right? But yeah,
Oh yeah.
give me your address, man. I need to fix that. I should have did it before this podcast.
Oh, brother, it's no worries, no worries. Now is this are the seasonings, obvious, the fajita and all that, you've been using for a while, or was it, how long was the process of, getting it tuned in and to
Oh man.
where you want it?
Well, just a sidebar. It took a while to find a packer. I was looking around. I would get a hold of somebody. This one guy, I mean, I signed the NDA, and he's got my recipe. Then the dude just went ghost, man. And I was like, what the heck? I don't know if maybe he left the company or what, but struck out on 2 places like that, right? And it's at this local joint, and I already had the recipe. The recipe's on. I mean, my recipe's pretty much on some of my older videos where I post a recipe of what I used. This thing recipe's there. So now it's different, from commercial to what you get at the supermarket ingredient wise, right?
Yeah.
So, but going back to development, I was in it's a little grocery store here. It's a mom and pop place, but they're pretty big. He's a big chicken distributor, Schuler Meats. He delivers chicken all up East Coast. And I was looking at, he had all these seasonings, man. He had like it was just lines of everything you think of. I was like, I know good and well this jackleg ain't back there packing this crap. He's getting it from somewhere. And I go up to the front desk, and I know the guy, but I didn't know the guy, right?
Mhm.
And I just asked the lady at the front. I said, where do y'all get your seasoning? All these seasonings, where do you get them from? She said, I don't know. Go ask Wayne. Wayne's the guy that owns the place. I said, well, where is he at? She said, go right back there, take a left, and go to his office. I said, okay. This is how stuff works in the South, man. You just go to get a handshake and a napkin, right? And so here I go. I waltzed through their dang office, and I said, hey, Wayne, I'm Matthew Hussey. He said, oh, I've been wanting to talk to you. I said, hey, we're in a good place right now. And I said, I need to talk to you too. And I said, well, I'll let you go first because I need you. And he just wanted to kind of talk about social media stuff, and social media has gotten so big about marketing, that kind of stuff. And he was kind of old school. He's like, trying to bounce some ideas off of me. I was like, man, I'll help you out however you want. And I came out of there and I asked him. He said, I'm going to give you 2 contacts. He said, I'll try this one first. If this one don't work, I go to the second one. And I called that. I remember very vividly. I went home, tried that first number. They picked up the phone. It's got to own the place. And I said, hey, I'm so-and-so. Wayne sent me. He said, all right, you're in good hands. I said, okay. And 30 minutes, man, I had the freaking seasoning going. And it took me 2 years at that point to get to there. And
Yeah.
man, I feel so, I mean, it was just like, I don't know what, maybe it just wasn't the right time, right? Whenever I try to do it at the beginning. So, going back to your original question, Johnny Mags, I sent my recipe off, and they sent me a big bag of it commercially made, right? Because like I said, what you buy at your grocery store ain't the same that they get commercially. And they sent me my bag. I tested it. I sent it off. They sent me enough. I sent little baggies, little everywhere. I said, hey, I need you to try this. Tell me what you think. And everybody was like, spot on, bro. Spot on. First try, Johnny.
Ooh.
And first try. And I was like, sure. I mean, I thought it was good, but nobody had anything negative to say. So that one's first for one go around. For heifer dust, Fiesta dust, it took me two tries on it. It was lacking a little bit of salt on it. Now, some people probably wouldn't mind, but I'm a salty mother. I was like probably too much salt. But I think I added a little bit more citric acid to the Fiesta dust, and I added more salt. And I think it was 2 different occasions. So it was two revisions on the Fiesta and none on the heifer dust. So I got lucky on that. I think sometimes
Yeah.
those developments take a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
yeah, I got real lucky.
Oh, it was like you said, the trial and error and the back and forth. Um, I was I remember it vividly. It was this past February. I was down with Uncle Steve at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo
Oh yeah,
Barbecue World Championships. And Dutch was there, CJ, a whole crew of us. And I was I was over somewhere with Aaron Leslie from Texas
Mm.
Oil Dust. And we headed back to Uncle Steve's site of Lonesome Dove Cookers and introduced each other. And man, Hussey, they got talking about seasoning,
yeah,
and my head was spinning
yep,
of some of the stuff they were saying. Now Steve does it all himself.
yep,
He's actually got to the point that his three bases he has a co-packer make.
yeah.
It has those brought in 55-gallon drums, and then mixes everything else from those three bases.
I see.
And Aaron has his stuff. But man, some of the conversation those two were having, it's like
Yeah,
really saw the true behind the scenes of someone who has a line of seasonings,
yeah.
and the ups, the downs, the trials, tribulations, the stress to get everything dialed in the right way. And it's like, holy cow.
I,
But
you
for
know,
you to
it's
hit it
so
right off
much.
the bat.
Even the go to market strategy. You know, and I was talking about the comment this morning I had. Guy was like, he was mad because it was like it was shipping that he was mad at me about. And I was like, God darn it. It's like,
Mhm.
I don't make anything off shipping. I plug everything in. Here's the weight. Here's the package. USPS calculate, it's calculated off USPS. I sent, well, all
Yeah.
about it. I sent it ground advantage. That's the cheapest
Mhm.
possible.
Yep.
And I said, if you want first priority, sucker's going $10 minimum to send one seasoning. And the dang Amazon effect is just it sucks for us small business guys is trying to have any kind of online presence or online shopping. So,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, I'm not making nothing off this. It's all calculated. None of this goes to my pocket. It's all going
Mhm.
to USPS. So, it's even that, putting stuff on for your online store and then shipping. And Steve and I talked for a long time. Just I'm trying to figure out this shipping stuff.
Yeah.
What are you packing this? What are you packing that? And I think he's like me. He's just, it's ever evolving. You're always just like, oh, maybe you do it this way. And so, my online store helps me out, but it's still, it's tough. It's just a whole plethora of problems. The development is one thing, and then you got to go to market, and it's a whole nother thing.
Oh yeah, and even Steve says it, you know, um, not often, but he throws out there every once in a while when it comes to the shipping thing, and he goes, I get people who order a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the shipping is more than the bottle.
Yeah.
So he goes, I tell people, hey, I'm not trying to push more on you, but
Yep.
your value, if you throw in another flavor or it's
Yep.
the same shipping, you just get more. And
Yep.
he just comes in very honest with everybody
Yeah.
when it comes to that. He goes, it is what it is. And he even deals with um international too.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different animal, between Canada, the UK, and couple
Yeah.
other places, and it's wild.
I took one on the chin going to the UK. I mean, I was just tickled pink, right? And somehow or another, I messed it up. I messed up the ship. I don't know how I did it, but boy, I had to eat about $18 in shipping myself. I did that for I don't know how many orders before I figured out. I was like, man, why is this so cheap going to UK? And I was like, ooh, boy, I messed
Ooh.
up. Had a setting wrong in my tool.
Yep. For sure. For
Like,
sure.
well, it's, hey, whatever. That's how you learn right there. You take a hit to your pocketbook a couple times, it'll that's how you learn real quick.
For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
and then like not long ago, Canada was striking. You couldn't send anything to Canada, but Kent, I think Kent's on to something. You see what he said? He said he thinks it's them postal employee wages. He thinks they're too high. What do you think about that, John?
I think I just voted no on my contract vote. But yeah, don't even get me started on that. That's a sore subject, and that's been that. Oh, of course he did.
He had to throw in a potty word.
Oh, he always does. See, that Iowa boy. You were right. These heathen friends of mine. But yeah, he said it right just before that. Shipping costs kill single or two bottle sales.
Yeah,
It really does. It really does.
and
Chip is saying the last
seasoning
shipment he bought, he went in with a friend, split the shipping.
Yeah,
you might have to do that. It's crazy now and then, and it's not just all the all the shippers, whether it's the post office, UPS, FedEx, even Amazon now has found themselves in some hot water.
Yeah,
because of now they're getting into 2 or 3 days, even up to a week now, instead of that it'll be here this afternoon thing.
Right.
They've been catching flack on that, but
well, I told the guy on the comment, that's exactly what you said earlier is exactly what he said. He's like, dang, the shipping is almost as much as the item.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, it depends on where you're at as far as your code, for one, or your region. Because I mean, some places are cheap, for ground advantage, and it's like $4 something.
Mhm.
But some of them, like Oregon's like $8.80. And
Yeah.
and again, I'm not getting anything off of that. Shoot, where the heck I done lost my train of thought, Johnny. I'm so passionate about here.
Shipping costs. Each one varies where it's going.
Yeah,
Some
each
are
one does
4
vary,
bucks.
but I was just talking. Yeah, and like you said, that's what get another bottle, because it seems like no matter how much more I add to it, it's just that same price. It's just like, I don't know, there's a threshold somewhere, but seasonings don't weigh too much. So, no, where I was going was, I was like, well, maybe I should just almost double the price and say I'll give it to you for free shipping, and then they'll probably order it all day long, because that's the way it is on Amazon. I was like, well, maybe I should do, say, $12. It was a magnet. Matter of fact, the magnets that I have for sale, they're $6.99, and I'm sure shipping, if it depending on where he was probably on up there. And I was like, maybe I should just say $13, and I'll ship it to you for free. So it's like, how do you want it? You pick your poison. Do you want it? How do you want it? Yeah, I like to be. I don't know. I mean, I just like to be like just truthful. This is the price, and that's why I like to calculate a rate, and I let the USPS talk about it. I don't put any kind of I gotta fork the money for the bag and the shipping materials. I write a note in there, put you some candies in there. I give it a little kiss. I go, and I'll see you later. No, I don't do that, but I'll do that for yours. I'll do that for yours.
All right. I appreciate that.
but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Not to go off on a crazy tangent, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, brother. It's all good. You know, we'll get back. We'll get into some of the content. Um, you do some barbecue, but your really niche is the Blackstone and griddling.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and
I like
like
barbecue.
you said, oh, absolutely. Because when you started out, you were a big green egg guy.
Yep.
And then then got into the the griddle aspect of everything.
Got hooked, man. Got hooked.
Oh, they're so versatile. You can literally do anything on it. Which threw me off.
Yep.
Because when I first heard about it, it's like, okay, it's a flat top, okay, burgers, stuff like that. Then you see, the stuff you're doing. I seen people making
Yeah.
pasta dishes.
Yep.
It's like, oh, and it doesn't burn the pasta.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. But you've been from the get go a Blackstone guy, and how? And it was a while. How did you get approached on becoming a pro team member from Blackstone? And what does
I
that
do these.
entail?
Yeah, well, it just just came to fruition. I know those folks really well. And I've always I just wanted to work with somebody, and I just kind of said, hey, I'd love to work with y'all sometime. And I knew Todd, real Todd Toven. A lot of people probably know
Mhm.
him. He was like the original griddler on YouTube, right? And I knew Scott Stevenson. He's like over marketing for Blackstone. Real good guy. Nate was friends with him. They had always supported me, and yeah, I think they were just looking for to add you know another person to the team, another
Yeah.
personality to the team. And thankfully I fit the bill. So they still keep me around, thankfully. um great company to work for, great group of people to work for. I go to Utah every once in a while to
Mhm.
headquarters, and just really nice. Roger, the owner, super nice guy. He loves watching content as well, and he's out there. He loves watching, like, see him sometimes on Instagram. But yeah, they just keeping in contact. Like I said, I was an influencer for them for a while.
Mhm.
They stopped their program of being like an affiliate, right? They had stopped that. I can't remember when, but they always still supported me with griddles, that kind of thing. So, and that's fine by me. I don't really like, you know, uh, just always throwing out being a sales pitch, right?
Mhm.
But but yeah, it just kind of came to fruition. I was like, hey, really would like to work with y'all if you ever have any kind of room for me. And just kind of worked, kind of fell into place, and it's been really good. It took a little bit of time to get into. Things are a little bit different. I had to kind of tailor my content strategy. So I almost got split personalities.
Okay.
I do things a little bit differently. It's hard to flip the switch one way for Hungry Hussey and one way for Good Groceries with Matt Hussey, right?
Mhm.
Um, so, but they do kind of flow into one another. Um, but overall, just trying to get it. I had to double my content now, so I got a week. One my video for Blackstone on Saturday, my videos on Sunday, and then now the podcast, and I was adding another video to the
Yeah.
rotation. I don't, I just It is a lot, but yeah, it kind of, I think it just worked when it was ready to work. I'm a firm believer on things just kind of pan out when they need to pan out. And didn't push it, but thankfully I'm on the team. I've been blessed to be on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I heard that, I was excited for you, because you deserve it because, the content you put out, especially with the Blackstone, is phenomenal,
Thanks, man. Thanks, Max. Appreciate that.
You did, just, recently you did a great one was the chicken shawarma,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
I got the idea.
know.
Sometimes, man, I'll have a plan. I'll have a loose plan. I got a spreadsheet of I don't know how many dang ideas, and sometimes I'll have an idea, and sometimes I'm just not really into it. And CJ and I were talking about this too, but I got this from Josh and Babe. They made it, and I was like, "Geez, that looks good. I'm going to try that." And so I tried it for the family. I even said that in my video, and they were like, what is this?" And I kind of alternated a little bit for them, took out a lot of the spice. So I kind of made a modified version, but the family was like, "This is fantastic." And I was like, "All right, I know what I'm doing Friday." I think that was like on Tuesday, I think. And so I film on Fridays. But so whatever I had, I axed that and put that chicken shawarma in. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it looked delicious, and the one thing that I love is your reactions to it. They're not fake, and you can tell.
Yeah,
You
it's a
you
flavor
you can,
bomb.
yeah, and then of course you throw a Husseyism in there,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. Now I had not obviously when we before we got on we were talking, and I've been doing some running around today, so I have not had the opportunity to watch today's video, which was the prime rib.
yes, sir. That prime rib.
Ooh,
Yeah,
uh,
tis the
you
season,
know,
right, brother?
oh, for sure, for sure. But what'd you do with that? Very traditional, or
I did it on the pellet grill, the Blackstone
Mhm.
pellet grill. But a lot of people say, "Oh, Blackstone, they do have pellet grills now."
Yes, and I was
And
gonna get to that with you.
yeah, works great. I got the combo unit. It's at Lowe's. It's a pretty good size smoker, and then beside of it has it's a little bit bigger than, I can't remember how many square feet or square inches it has. It's more square inches than a 22-inch griddle.
Mhm.
It's a little bit deeper, but it's almost like a 22, but it does have more real estate to it. And it's got that to the side of it. And it's a pretty nice machine. I've cooked a lot on it. I wouldn't recommend doing 30. Well, how much? Yeah, I did 30 pounds of pork belly burn ins, and I didn't clean it. I didn't clean it
Ooh.
before. Man, Mags, bro, I had to pull the thing away because I thought it was going to burn my house down. I had a grease fire. I used 3 boxes of salt. Thankfully, I buy a lot of salt.
Oh.
Man, I had a freaking mess, dude. And this was almost not quite brand new. I had cooked quite a bit of stuff, but clean your smokers out. Don't be like Hussey. My dang, the ramp, that you got to clean and put the foil on and
Yep.
all that. I didn't do that. And man, that sucker, I was doing some pork belly burn ins for an event for Lowe's, and I put all those suckers on there, and that I had so much grease. Dude, I had the dang grease was on fire, and where the grease comes down, to go into the bucket, in the bottom,
Yep.
that sucker was on fire, man. It was dripping fire.
Oh, God.
I was like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna burn this thing down in my house."
Good night of living.
But it's been a good, like, going back to it, it's been a good unit. They had a few little quirks to work out at the beginning, and they've worked that out, the R&D guys. and I use it all the time. It's a pellet grill. Yeah, it's not going to be the flavor as my offset. If I really
Mhm.
want to make sure I do it right, I'm gonna fire up some sticks, but or my big green egg. I get decent results from that. But that prime rib, yeah, it went just super simple, reverse seared. I didn't dry brine. If I have the time, I like to dry brine, but I didn't. And I basically just did heifer dust, my heifer dust. I added, I think I just did straight heifer dust, and um, I cooked another prime rib last night, but so I'm getting them confused. I think, Johnny, and I went real low. I like to go. I think I went 200 for a little bit, just to get everything that's kind of loosey. I like when I slice the prime rib, man. I want red top to bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you go 250, sometimes you'll get a little bit of gray band, a
Yeah.
little bit. If you don't, if it depends on your smoker too. You go any higher, you're definitely gonna get a gray band. But I like to go low first, maybe for the first 30, 45 minutes. Then I'll creep it up 225 and maybe get up there about 250, and then I'll sear it over on the Blackstone after that, or sometimes I'll take a torch to it and just kind of
Yep.
crisp it up on the edge. But that's pretty much it. A little au jus. I think I made an au jus, put the au jus in there, smoked it a little bit too. Made a horseradish sauce. It was pretty good, pretty fantastic.
Oh, can't wait to watch. Can't wait to watch it. Um, but talking prime rib, obviously we have Christmas Eve in 2 days, Christmas Day in 3 days. What's getting cooked at the Hussey household for,
Well,
do you do both
yes.
days or do something
So
Christmas Eve, something Christmas Day, or just Christmas Day and kind of go light on Christmas Eve?
yeah, we kind of we don't have a very big family. It's just me and my brother now. Both my mom and my dad have passed, but I've got a tickle in my throat, so I keep coughing. I'm sorry.
No worries, brother.
I might have to go get another cheer wine in a minute. We do breakfast. We do Christmas breakfast. That's kind of a tradition we've been doing now for a long time. Um, shoot, how long have we been doing that? Long time. And then we just kind of pick, after that. Sometimes I'll get a ham, just old spiral ham.
Mhm.
Do nothing. Don't maybe I might double smoke it. I don't know. I might even put it in the oven. But Christmas Eve we kind of go kind of easy. This year I don't know what we're going to do. Honestly, we used to do like a prime rib, and it's kind of tough. We do a thing at church, like a candlelight thing for church, or they might have something.
Mhm.
So it's kind of tough, and yeah, I don't know quite yet what we're going to do. Excuse me. um,
That's all right.
so yeah, I haven't figured that out. I did, I cooked about 80 pounds of pork butt yesterday. Well, I did two shoulders and 3 butts yesterday. I do barbecue for friends and family. We were chatting, before we hopped on, and we delivered all those goodies today to all of our not all of our friends and family, but most of them kind of in the neighborhood and that kind of live close to us. And that was a lot of fun. I did that on that Lone Star offset, which is a lot of fun to run.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. I do something like that every year. Obviously, up here in New Hampshire, well, like I said, we was when we first got on together. It was 11 degrees, and
Dang, boy.
so once the snow really starts flying,
Yeah.
it's tough to get my smoker out of the garage. It's on the whole trailer and all that. So it gets a little heavy, and there's a bit of an incline. So right now I'm actually dealing with some of the ice. I'm trying to get it lined up So after Christmas Day, I can push it and get it back in the garage.
Yeah.
But I do always, after Thanksgiving, I always do a run of 6 to 8 pork butts,
Yeah.
and we break them down, vacuum seal everything and throw them in the freezer. Because, like I said, once the snow comes, it gets to a certain point that there's 6 inches of ice,
Yeah.
and I can't even get into the garage. Never mind get the smoker out. So I basically stock up for the winter on the pulled pork, and my wife will take it out, a bag or two, depending on what she's doing, and she's gotten real creative with it. Between throwing it in some chili or
Yeah.
straight up, or Christmas Eve, she's actually doing which she's done last year. I think was the first time she did it. She's doing a pulled pork lasagna for Christmas Eve. And Hussey, to steal your line, man, good groceries.
Good groceries. That sounds like some good groceries right there.
It is fantastic. But yeah, you do that big cook every year, and
Yeah.
it's fun, and I will pass some around a bunch of guys at work, and throw each one of them a couple bags, and it's what we do. It's what I love to do.
Yeah.
I love sitting there and feed Miss Mary sticks all day long. And, they're like, how long does it
A lot
take?
of work.
Well, 8 hours maybe, depending
Yeah.
on how it is. If I really want to do it, I'll cut the butt in half or quarters,
Yeah.
and drop it down to 3-4 hour. But it's what we do, and
I tried to do.
it comes out.
I went 12. It went about 12 hours for me yesterday. I got started late. I wasn't going to do it. I had got kind of I'm still kind of recovering from a little bit of a cold. That's why I'm having trouble talking right now. And I told my wife, and I said, I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff going on. And she said a lot of people love this. She said, your daughter, she looks forward to this tradition that you've started. And I was like, well, I guess I got to do this now. And I'm glad I did, because people they look forward to this. And like you said, you got those folks at your work. They're like, they just look forward to it. It's good stuff. And I had a lot of fun. I tried a little bit different this time. I wanted to run things different. I tried to go a little bit lower on this, and went a little lower and tried to finish it. Used to, I just went 250, because I feel with the offset, it swings so much,
Oh yeah.
And I was just, sometimes I just try different methods, and I should not have done that yesterday. So I should have just, went 250, 275 just for the duration. But yeah, I was trying to hold it 225, just trying to get some good smoke, trying to really manage my fire a little bit better. And it ended up going, I think I got started, I put it on about 11:30, and I was done at maybe right at 11. So, but and it was cold here. Now it wasn't 11, but it was 30s yesterday here. So it was getting cold, but I had a little fire pit out there in the right there beside of me going. Plus, the cool thing about offsets, you got the fire box that you can just kind of stand beside and get warm too.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I just fed her sticks. I don't have a nickname for mine. I need to do better.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of that, for 1 second, can you give me 1 second? I got to turn this heater back on.
All right.
Hang on.
It's gonna be getting cold. What's up, Wes? Pulled pork chimichangas. That sounds good too. Josh and me. There's Josh and Babe. I didn't see Josh and Babe. I was just talking about you, Josh. Johnny was liking your chicken shawarma, Josh. Josh and Babe was in here. Or
Oh,
was
were
in
they?
here now. Yeah, I didn't see him come in. There he is.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, old Josh. He's got some good recipes too. He does a good job.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, thanks for that, man. He was getting a little cheated just for laughs. Let's see what the hell. We are currently at 7 degrees.
You're at 7. We're at 29. Ain't too bad for North Cackalack, is it?
No, no, for sure.
So we're going to be at a low of 20. So the old heater's going to get a little exercise tonight.
Oh, absolutely. We got the fireplace going upstairs. It's nice and toasty up there.
Do you have a wood burning fireplace or like gas logs?
Wood burning. I have.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah. If I really thought about it, I would have started. I did. There's one. I have one upstairs, and I have one. My house is a raised ranch.
Gotcha.
And so I have one on both floors. So if I
Gotcha.
really was smart, I would have started this about 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah,
But,
that way it just rises. Yeah,
yeah. But I also have a in-wall unit, propane heaters.
gotcha.
So I got both ends on that one. But yeah,
Gotcha.
it's like, ooh, I got a little breeze coming in from the garage door.
That's too cold for me, man. Too cold.
No, yeah. But yeah, no, we were talking, you don't have the nickname Miss Mary. Oh yeah. That's
well, you got that's a pretty sweet smoker you got.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. And from everybody who's in from Matt's following, I have an custom offset smoker. My friend Ryan Newland from Backline Fabrication in Austin built it for me. And a little surprise for my birthday between him and my wife. And when it came down, they were talking about the paint. They're like, "What do you want to do?" And she goes, "It needs to be purple."
Yep.
He goes, "Purple?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "That was his mother's favorite color.
Sweet.
Was purple." So he wound up getting the plum crazy purple.
Yeah.
From the the 70s Dodge muscle cars.
Yep.
So that's what it's painted in. We nicknamed her Miss Mary after my mother.
Yeah.
So it's got a nice he cut out laser cut metal to put it on the side of the chamber, but yeah, she's a beast.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
It's is it a gallon or is it a fabbed chamber?
The chamber itself, it's
fab, but you know what I mean. Like some of them they take like a 250 gallon, 500 gallon, 1,000 gallon.
Yeah,
and then like mine is just steel welded right to make a chamber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, it's equivalent to 125 gallons.
I got you.
So, but yeah, he built that from the ground up. The trailer, the whole thing just came in sheets and stock. And
yeah, it's nice.
Blasted it out from there. But yeah, cooking machine, and it's double insulated firebox. So even today, like I said, it was warming it up, getting ready for Christmas Day cook, and it was 8 degrees or 7, and she's sitting at 300.
Yeah,
and won't move. That's where she loves to run, and even it doesn't matter what the temperature is, and she'll just sit there all day long. Throw a split in every 40 minutes or so now with the cold, but But yeah, she runs like a champ. Oh,
Yeah.
love it. Love it.
They're fun to cook on when you got the time.
Oh yeah.
It's tough to find the time sometimes.
Yeah. I've been playing lately with the Kamado Joe, Connected Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
I got one of those. Oh man, is that thing a game changer? Because you can use it both ways. You can use it traditionally
Okay.
with like Kamado style, or you can use the electronics.
Oh.
So it has the just like a pellet grill, but it has fans and senses, so it'll sense if the temperature drops.
Yeah.
You can set it, and the fans kick in to stoke it back up, and
So it's kind of like having a barbecue guru on board,
yeah.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Gotcha.
They built their own guru for it, and so I've been playing with that, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, a Kamado is still one of my favorite things or ways to cook. It's just a lot of it just comes down to time. How much time do I have to get dinner on the table? Especially when you got small kids. That's why the griddle got so much action for me. I just after that I used to, like I cook on my eggs all the time, and I got that thing, and next thing you know, I could have dinner on the table in no time.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to go back to something else. It takes a lot more time.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And that's why, people ask me, or whenever I have, people come up to the house, the boys from work or whatever, I usually throw a party every year, have everyone up, and, they look around the yard, they see Miss Mary, they see a couple Webbers, they see the Kamado, they see the Blackstone, and like,
Yeah.
how much stuff can you cook on? I go, well, each one has a purpose.
Yeah.
I go, if I want to do breakfast, I'm on the Blackstone. If I want to do some burgers, normally I'll fire up the Weber. But if we're running late and you're just doing something quick, I go boom, right on the Blackstone. We're eating in 15 minutes. We're done. Each one serves a purpose.
It's funny when you talk about people just, they just think, what in the world's going on? And whenever I have somebody coming by, give me a quote on something, I don't know what it is. Maybe like termites or whatever, they're just like, they get downstairs here where I'm like, where all my set is, and they're just like looking around and like, what is this? They're like, what is this? And then they're like, "Oh, wait a minute," and it's kind of crazy. Like, what all do you have? I was like, "Well, I got some more crap up there in the garage," but like you said, they all have. I think there's always a right tool for the job.
Oh yeah.
Can you cook a brisket on a Blackstone? You can. Prove that.
Let prove that, boy.
He proved it, but would I want to do it? No, not so much. Ribs, no. So there's always the right tool for the job, and I think a Kamado fits the bill on a lot of things for ease and convenience. Now, it's just hard to cook volume on those things, because there's just not a lot of room at all.
There's brother CJ.
Yeah, there he is.
Too much sexy on one screen. You are darn right.
There's a lot, man. There's a
lot going on tonight.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about you earlier, brother, on the episode. Tremendous job, great interview.
It was very good episode. Yeah, very, very popular. A lot of people stood around for 2.5 hours for us for whatever reason. I don't know
why. Oh yeah. I'm in, and I love them. I just love how the conversations go. You get involved with it. It's just like you said, we're sitting around. We're doing exactly what we would do if we're all together, and we're sitting around a pit or the stone, or
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's a glimpse behind the scenes, technically.
Yep.
you know, and like you said, we'll jump off a rail here and there, but it all comes back to food and what we love to do, what we love to talk about, and a lot of like-minded people,
Yep.
a lot of people looking for information,
Yeah.
always striving for that next thing. I've gotten so much ideas and inspirations, from you, from Dutch or CJ, Josh, things I would never have thought about. And it's like, oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's changed how I cook. It's changed how I look at a recipe or formulate a recipe for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And now with these platforms, we get a chance to talk about it.
The internet's a beautiful thing, man. The internet's a beautiful thing.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, there's Tom. Tom, what's happening? Mojo, what's going on, brother? Skip.
It's a good little people turnout, I'd say.
Absolutely.
I don't have data behind it, but the chat seems to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just wish I could see it without having to stick my face completely in the thing. This whole eyes changing things with the diabetes now is throwing me off, because now I got to wait till after New Year's, because I used the insurance up last month for when it changed. It's like, oh my God, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, so what's coming down the line for you, brother?
I've got some goals for this year. This year, I want those 2 more seasonings I'm going to come to market with. I might have to find a place to house this stuff. Maybe like a little warehouse. Maybe I rent from somebody that has a big warehouse, and I maybe can occupy a little bit of it. I don't know. So I got those 2 coming up, and hopefully get my samples very soon. Maybe the next week or so. I hope they were about 2 weeks out. They're a little late. So I'm starting to develop that. For right now, that's pretty much it. As far as goals, I want to get that. There's some other like sales goals that I want to do as well, to hit. So it doesn't sound like I'm not too goal oriented, but sales goals, I want to, obviously I want to have more sales volume than I did, this year. And let's try to grow that. But yeah, obviously I want to get to that, whatever million mark. I don't know. CJ and I talked about it, about what do we want to get to, or, I never really thought, when I hit 100,000, it just wasn't really, it just didn't do it for me. I think lately I've really just thought, man, I don't really care if I get a lot of views. I just want to really try to give the people, something what they like to watch. And the subscribers, I don't know if I really care about subscribers anymore. I mean, I care about them. I mean, the amount,
Yeah.
Because, man, I tell you, if you start looking at that data, you just start getting depressed. It's like, man, I'm putting all this work, all this effort into it. I got an editor, I got a guy who shoots for me, and it's like, and now, the past month or so, views have just been kind of down.
Yeah.
And it's like, when views are down, of course, you're not making as much money, but the bill's coming in, the guy shooting, he same price, all this kind of stuff. So, long story short, just really try to grow the channel some more, feed the people what they want, and, really want to focus more on community this year. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the podcast, to really strengthen the community.
Absolutely. Amen to that, brother.
Yeah. So that's about it. it's a lot. The 2 seasons a lot, and we'll try to get in some other sales channels. That's about it.
Very cool, brother. Very cool. Like I said, brother, I appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday's not necessarily the easiest thing, especially 2 days before Christmas. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, it's been too long, brother. My apologies. Yeah, it's not. Next time ain't gonna be that long. But like I said, dude, you're still crushing it with the content every week, quality, and like I said, I'm over the moon for you on the podcast venture, and I'm really enjoying it. You're doing a great job, and not that I'm any type of professional, but any help I can give you, any question that might pop up that I can answer for you, I'm here for you, brother.
I appreciate that. And I'm obviously I'm looking for, some folks to be on my podcast as well. So yeah, I would like to obviously everybody does things a little differently. So, the format's slightly different than what you do. And I'd like to chew the fat with you a little bit over there one day.
Whenever you want, brother, I'm game. Just let me know.
I will. I'll we'll get that in the works for sure very soon.
Absolutely, brother. Well, dude, Merry Christmas to you and the family.
Merry Christmas
to
yours, buddy.
Tell brother Michael I said hello. It's been a while since I talked or chatted with him.
Yeah. Well, he's got shoulder surgery tomorrow. He's got a rotator cuff. Yeah. I got to go be with him tomorrow, and so yeah, it's not going to be good for him for the holidays. But he needed to, kind of like you were saying, the insurance thing. He kind of needs to do it. So
yep, got to get it done.
So yeah, Big Mike's going to go under the knife tomorrow.
But yeah, brother. Well, wish him the best for me. Hope everything goes well. But yeah, Merry Christmas, brother. I appreciate you. I love you. And wish nothing but the best with everything going on down the line. And like I said, I'm here for you whenever you need me, bro.
I appreciate that, buddy. You've always been a great supporter of me. I probably don't come over and say hey much like I should, but the love's always there. I guarantee it.
Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. And thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you for a Sunday for the change, typically live on Mondays at 8:00. But after last week's technical fiasco, I was not playing with that. I am not in the mood to deal with that again. But it is what it is. Thank you all. Wish each and every one of you Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, however you celebrate it. Celebrate it to the nines. Enjoy the time off if you have some. I know I always take the week between Christmas and New Year's off, so I'll be spending some time with the missus and the kids. And the dogs now. I got a little zoo going here with the amount of, I have a pack of dogs now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a male dog and a female dog and they're left to their own vices. One day you go to work with 2 dogs and you come home to 4 dogs.
Happy dang. It's amazing how that happens.
Crazy. But yeah, guys, enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the time off if you have it. Cherish the moments, because it still blows my mind right now that we're 2 days before Christmas Eve. Yeah. Where did it go?
It's gone so fast.
It was before, just yesterday we were putting the stuff away for Christmas.
That's right.
But
I feel like I just got done with that leftover dressing from Thanksgiving,
Exactly. Exactly. I think I might have a little container of the cranberry sauce still tucked in the back of the fridge.
It's got just a little bit of hair. It's got a little, like a flat top on it. You know what I'm saying?
There's a little bit of twang to it.
Well, penicillin won't hurt nobody.
It's supposed to be purplish. It's a little green and blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, enjoy the holidays. Cherish them. Thank you all for tuning in. Next week, we are back to live on Mondays. The Christmas rush is over for me. So we'll be back to regular Monday nights, 8 o'clock, regular time. Thank you all. Enjoy the holidays. I love you. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling. What the hell? There it is.